stop. Before you eat one more clove of garlic tomorrow morning, you need to hear this because what I'm about to tell you could change the way your heart, your blood, and your brain age for the rest of your life. I'm a physician. I've spent years sitting across from patients who swore they were doing everything right. Garlic every morning, on an empty stomach, just like the internet told them. And some of them were helping their bodies in ways modern medicine is only beginning to understand. But a few of them, they were quietly making a mistake. A small one that nobody warned them about. Here's the truth most people never hear. Garlic is not magic. Garlic is medicine. And medicine has rules. That tiny clove contains a compound called allicin. It only forms when you crush or chop raw garlic and let it sit. Allicin is powerful. It's the same molecule researchers keep pointing to when they talk about garlic and blood pressure, garlic and cholesterol, garlic and the slow, silent stiffening of your arteries. But here's what almost no one tells you. The way you eat it, the time you eat it, and what your body is doing in that moment can completely change whether garlic heals you or hurts you. Think about that for a second. The same clove. One person feels incredible. Another person feels their stomach burn, their head spin, or worse. Why? That's the question we're answering today. And I promise you, by the time we reach number one, you're going to look at that little clove on your kitchen counter very, very differently. Because number one is the part that shocked even me when I first read the research. It's the reason some people should be careful with garlic on an empty stomach. And if you're taking certain common medications, the kind millions of people take without thinking, number one could be the most important thing you hear all week. But we're not there yet. First, let me tell you why I even started caring about something as ordinary as breakfast garlic. Years ago, a patient came in. Let's call him Robert, 62. Good man. Worried about his heart after watching his own father pass too young. He'd read that garlic could protect him, so every single morning he crushed 2 raw cloves and swallowed them down before anything else. His intentions were perfect. His heart numbers were slowly improving, but he came to me confused because some mornings he felt amazing, and other mornings he felt sick to his stomach and oddly lightheaded. He thought he was doing one simple thing. He was actually doing 5 different things to his body at once, and he had no idea. That's what we're unpacking today. 5 truths about eating garlic every morning. 5 things happening inside you that you can't see and can't feel until it's too late to ignore them. Some of these will reassure you, some will surprise you. And number one might genuinely change a habit you've had for years. So here's what I need from you. Don't skip ahead. Each truth builds on the last, the same way it builds inside your body. Miss one, and the whole picture falls apart. Ready? Let's start where Robert's story really begins, with the 2 truths most people get completely backwards. Truth number 5 and truth number 4. And trust me, number 4 is the one people argue with me about the most. Truth number 5. Eating garlic on an empty stomach can do something wonderful or something uncomfortable. And which one depends entirely on your gut. Here's the simple science. Raw garlic is sharp. It's not just flavor. Those same compounds that fight bacteria and support your blood vessels are also mild irritants. On a full stomach, food cushions them. But first thing in the morning, your stomach is empty, acidic, and exposed. For many people, that's actually a good thing. The active compounds hit the bloodstream faster with less competition from food. That's part of why morning garlic became so popular in the first place. But for some people, people with sensitive stomachs, acid reflux, or a history of ulcers, that raw clove lands like a match on dry grass. Remember Robert? The lightheaded, queasy mornings? This was part of it. Some days he'd had a little water and a bite of something. Those mornings were fine. Other days he took it cold, on a completely empty stomach, and his gut rebelled. He thought garlic was unpredictable. Garlic wasn't the problem. The conditions were. So here's your actionable fix, and it's beautifully simple. If garlic ever burns or upsets your stomach, don't quit. Just pair it. Take your clove with a small amount of food. A spoon of yogurt, a bit of bread, a few nuts. You keep the benefits. You lose the burn. And if you have ulcers, reflux, or any diagnosed stomach condition, talk to your own doctor before making raw garlic a daily ritual. That's not me being cautious for the sake of it. That's me protecting your gut lining. Simple, right? Now here's where it gets interesting. Because truth number 4 is the one people fight me on. Constantly. Truth number 4. Most people are eating garlic completely wrong and getting almost none of the benefit they think they're getting. Let me explain. That powerful compound I mentioned, Allison, it does not exist in a whole clove. Not yet. It only forms when garlic is crushed, chopped, or grated, and then left to sit. This is the part everyone misses. When you damage the garlic, two separate ingredients inside it finally meet and react. That reaction takes time, roughly 10 minutes. Crush your garlic, walk away, brush your teeth, and let chemistry do its work. But what does the average person do? They swallow a whole clove like a pill, or they crush it and gulp it down instantly, or they toss it straight into a hot pan where the heat destroys the very thing they were after before it ever forms. In every one of those cases, you're getting a fraction of the power you think you are. This is why I had patients telling me, "Doctor, I've eaten garlic for years and felt nothing." They weren't lying. They were just skipping the one step that activates it. Here's your fix. Crush or finely chop your garlic. Let it rest about 10 minutes, then eat it. If you're cooking it, add it near the end, not the beginning. That tiny pause is the difference between food and medicine. I told Robert this, and his face dropped. Years of swallowing whole cloves, years of leaving most of the benefit on the table. So now you know how to protect your stomach and how to actually unlock the power inside the clove. But knowing how to eat it is only the beginning, because truths 3 and 2 aren't about how you eat garlic. They're about what it's quietly doing deep inside your arteries and your blood, right now, every single morning. And truth number 2 surprises almost everyone. Truth number 3. Every morning you eat garlic, something is happening inside your arteries that you will never feel until the day it matters most. Let me show you what I mean. High blood pressure is called the silent killer for a reason. No pain, no warning. Just years of quiet pressure hammering the inside of your blood vessels, stiffening them, scarring them, setting the stage for a heart attack or a stroke that seems to come out of nowhere. It almost never comes out of nowhere. Now here's where garlic earns its reputation. Multiple reviews of clinical trials and real studies on real people have found that aged garlic and garlic supplements can modestly lower blood pressure. We're talking reductions that, in people with hypertension, can be similar in size to what you'd expect from starting a low dose of a basic blood pressure medication. Modest, not magic, but meaningful. Because here's the part that hits home. When it comes to your arteries, small numbers, sustained over years, decide everything. A few points lower, every single day, for a decade? That's the difference between a vessel that stays flexible and one that gives out. That's why Robert's heart numbers had been slowly improving. He didn't feel it, he couldn't feel it, but the work was being done, morning after morning, in the dark, inside vessels he'd never see. Think about that the next time you crush a clove. You're not tasting breakfast. You're voting for the version of your heart that's still strong 20 years from now. But blood pressure is only half of what's happening. Truth number 2, and this is the one that surprises almost everyone. Garlic doesn't just touch your heart. It reaches into your blood sugar. Most people have no idea. They think garlic is a heart thing, a cholesterol thing. But research has shown that regular garlic intake may help lower fasting blood sugar and improve how the body handles glucose, especially in people drifting toward type 2 diabetes. And why does that matter so much? Because high blood sugar and high blood pressure are not two separate problems. They're partners. They damage the same vessels. They feed the same diseases. They age you from the inside in the same brutal way. So when that morning clove nudges your blood pressure down and helps steady your blood sugar at the same time, it's not doing one favor for your body. It's quietly defending two of the systems most likely to fail you as you get older. Here's the emotional truth I want you to sit with. Diabetes and heart disease rarely announce themselves. They build, silently, for years. And by the time most people get the diagnosis, the damage has already been accumulating long before the first symptom ever appeared. I've watched patients break down in my office, asking the same question. Why didn't I feel this sooner? You don't. That's the cruelty of it. These conditions take everything from you before they ever ask permission, which is exactly why daily habits, boring, repeatable, almost invisible habits like one crushed clove in the morning, matter more than any dramatic intervention later. But now we arrive at the moment I warned you about at the very start, because everything I've told you so far has been about garlic protecting you. Truth number one is different. Truth number one is about the people for whom that same protective clove can quietly become dangerous, especially on an empty stomach, and especially if you're taking one of the most common medications on earth. Take a breath. Let's talk about number one. Truth number one. Garlic thins your blood. That sounds harmless. For most people, it's actually a gift, but for some people, it's the single most important sentence in this entire video. Let me explain exactly what's happening, because this is where the science gets serious. Inside your blood are tiny cells called platelets. Their job is to clump together and form clots when you get injured. That's life-saving. It's how you stop bleeding. But platelets that clump too easily are dangerous in a different way. They help build the clots that cause heart attacks and strokes. Garlic steps right into the middle of this. Those same active compounds that lower your blood pressure also make your platelets less sticky. They become less likely to clump. Your blood flows a little more freely. For a healthy person, that's part of why garlic is good for your heart. But now listen very carefully. What happens when you're already taking a medication that thins your blood? Aspirin, warfarin, clopidogrel, the everyday blood thinners that millions and millions of people take. Many of them every single morning, right around the time they'd swallow that clove. Garlic and those medications push in the same direction, and when two forces push the same way, the effect can stack. This is the danger. Too much thinning means blood that doesn't clot when it's supposed to. It means a small cut that won't stop. Easy bruising, bleeding from the gums. And in the worst, rarest cases, bleeding deep inside the body, in the gut or even the brain, where you can't see it and can't stop it until it's an emergency. And here's the part that ties everything together. On an empty stomach, raw garlic is absorbed faster and hits harder. The very thing that makes morning garlic effective is the same thing that makes this interaction more intense for the people at risk. Now imagine someone like Robert. Picture a man who started eating garlic every morning to protect the heart his own father lost too young. A man doing everything out of love for his own life. And imagine he's also on a daily blood thinner his cardiologist prescribed. And no one ever told him the two might not mix. He'd think he was being twice as safe. He could quietly be tipping himself toward danger. That's not fear for the sake of fear. That's a real, documented interaction that doctors and pharmacists genuinely watch for. So here's the behavior change, and I need you to hear this as clearly as anything I've said today. If you take any blood thinner, aspirin included, or any medication at all, do not start eating raw garlic every morning without talking to your doctor or pharmacist first. One short conversation. That's all it takes. And this matters even more in one specific situation. If you have surgery coming up, any surgery, even dental, tell your surgeon you eat garlic regularly and ask when to stop beforehand. Surgeons often ask patients to pause garlic and other blood thinners before a procedure precisely because of bleeding risk. I have seen the relief on a patient's face when they realize they caught this in time. And I never want anyone to feel the opposite. This is the line between garlic the medicine and garlic the hidden risk. It all comes down to knowing which body you're putting it into. So now you know all 5 truths. You know how garlic heals, and you know the one situation where it demands respect. But knowing isn't enough. In a moment, I'll show you exactly how to turn all of this into a safe, simple morning habit. And the one question I want you to answer for me. So let's bring it all together, because here's the beautiful thing. After everything I've just told you, the warnings, the science, the stories, Garlic is still one of the simplest, most powerful gifts you can give your body in the morning. You just have to use it wisely. Let's recap the 5 truths quickly. Lock them in. Truth 5. Garlic on an empty stomach works fast, but if it burns, don't quit. Just pair it with a little food. Truth 4. A whole clove is almost wasted. Crush it, let it sit about 10 minutes, and you unlock the real medicine inside. Truth 3. Every morning, that clove is quietly helping lower your blood pressure, protecting arteries you'll never see for a heart you want to keep strong. Truth 2. It's not just your heart. Garlic reaches into your blood sugar too, defending you against 2 silent diseases at once. And truth 1. Garlic thins your blood. A gift for most. But if you're on blood thinners, on any medication, or facing surgery, you talk to your doctor first. No exceptions. 5 truths. 1 little clove. Now here's what I really want you to walk away with. Not fear, not anxiety, power. Because most people go through life feeling like their health just happens to them. Like heart disease and diabetes are bad luck that strike from the shadows. But you just spent these minutes learning how one ordinary morning habit speaks directly to your blood, your vessels, and your future. That's not luck. That's control. That's you taking the wheel. So here's your simple plan, starting tomorrow. Crush 1 clove. Let it rest 10 minutes. Take it with a little food if your stomach is sensitive. And if you're on any medication at all, have that one short conversation with your doctor or pharmacist before you make it daily. That's it. No extreme diet, no expensive supplement, just a clove, a habit, and a little knowledge most people will never have. You have it now. And honestly, the fact that you watch this all the way to the end tells me something about you. You're not someone who ignores your body. You're someone who's willing to learn, willing to change, willing to fight for the years ahead. That's rare. Hold on to it. Now I want to hear from you. Here's my question, and I read these comments personally. Do you already eat garlic in the morning? And after watching this, are you going to change how you do it? Type garlic in the comments if you're starting tomorrow. I genuinely want to see how many of you commit. And if even one thing in this video surprised you, if you learned something you didn't know this morning, do me a favor. Hit subscribe, because I make these to protect people exactly like you, and the next one could matter even more than this one. There's so much more your body is trying to tell you. Don't miss it. I'll see you in the next one. Take care of that heart. It's the only one you've got.